Hello, how are you? How are you, Holly? I know you're in here. There you are. Listening tonight, sick with whatever your husband had. Oh, and everything hurts. I'm sorry, Holly. Sending you so much love and healing. That's no fun. My kids, all three of them went to school today. So, and they stayed all day. Hey, Ben. Hey, Kara. Alright, just getting the sharing out of the way, tagging people so they know we're on. There we go. Giving my computer a minute to catch up to reality. Oh yeah, you told me that the other day. I didn't even ask what kind of bracelet you got in, what kind of bracelet you got in, because I don't know if I have enough. Hi Ariana, how are you, love? All right. Hi Anna. Okay. I am so tired now. I have been going all day long. Hey Matt. Yeah, I dropped the kids off at school this morning, came home, showered, and got ready, drove to town, went to the dispensary, went to Walmart for groceries because I haven't been for like a week and a half or something. So, um, yeah, had to get some stuff. And there wasn't a lot of people at Walmart, thank goodness. So it wasn't that bad on the anxiety and stuff. Still overstimulating as hell. Hey, Patrick. So got done with that, drove home, unpacked everything. Finally got to sit down for like 30 minutes, then I had to go pick up the kids. But I did relax after I picked the kids up until I had to start setting up for the podcast. So I'm tired. How you doing, Patrick? How's Zeus? Hey, Suzanne. Moss agate, garnet, smoky quartz, clear quartz, lapis, blue apatite, Kambaba jasper, moonstone, amethyst, rainbow fluorite, and hematite. Oh. Slide me over a Kambaba in my basket box. Um, hmm. I'm thinking. I'm shopping live. You guys see me. um, and probably a smoky quartz. I'm feeling the smoky quartz. Hey, Corey. How are you, darling? Zeus is doing great. Going to the vet tomorrow for a checkup. Awesome. How precious. I just love him. I've been checking in and giving him little pets. All right. I guess I can start getting on with the reading. Not a lot of cards came out, but we know how that goes. Bottom of the deck always gets chatty. So we'll see how long this reading really lasts, huh? Okay. Ooh. Okay. We're going to start off bottom of the deck, Solitude. We're using the Etheric Evolution deck by Flavored Vivid, flavoredvivid.com if you guys want to order. Isolation to go within for answers, silence, and processing. Sometimes we need to go and have some quiet time to ourselves without anybody or anything especially phones. Like my phone irritates me at this point. Um, I prefer to be away from my phone as much as possible. I prefer to be in the present moment. So have some quiet time to yourself if the kids are at school, or if you have someone to pawn them off on for a couple of hours or a weekend or something. Lucky you. I get the school break, but I don't really need a break from my kids, really. Uh, I enjoy being around them and they know when to leave me alone to have my quiet time. So it works out. But no matter what you do, you need to take some time just to have some quiet time and be present with yourself. Okay. Harmony, fulfillment, peace, gratitude, and enjoying the now. So it's time to reflect, is what I heard. Um, we do have the Wheel of Fortune showing up on the bottom of the deck. Okay. And when I saw this, when I looked down and saw it, I heard Wheel of Fortune. So, like, exciting, things moving forward in a big way. And the Eight of Wands is showing up right behind that. Also, talking about forward moving momentum, very quick. That turtle is running. Okay. Um, plus those, I had one and I'm like forgetting the name all of a sudden. But those water turtles, if you know the name of it, I'm drawing a blank still, so insert in the comments. But those water turtles are fast. Okay. um, they can scoot really quickly. Ask me how I know. The turtle that I had just like that I'm talking about ran away. So yeah, I lost her. Her name was Stinky because obviously she was stinky. But yeah, those turtles are fast. So cooter. um so quiet reflection, having that solitude, allowing yourself to absorb everything that you've learned thus far, and allowing yourself to really steep in the wisdom, the guidance that's always being given to you. But it's like sometimes we, yes, red-eared slider, thank you. I could not think of the name for the life of me. And they have red ears. I don't know. It's been a long day. But so taking time to be present with yourself, absorbing the lessons, absorbing the wisdom. And sometimes we overlook things because yes, we're getting the guidance and we're acting on it, or we're kind of, I'm guilty of this. Okay. Cooter is what we call a soft shell turtle in the South. um that's funny. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. Okay, so sometimes we kind of skim over things like, oh, yeah, I get it. I'm taking this guidance and I'm just doing what I need to do, or focusing where I need to go, and kind of, well, yeah, I got it. I'm guilty. Okay. So sometimes I have to make myself sit still because, ADHD brain has got you constantly going. Hi, Sonia. So slow down, okay, and absorb what's going on. Absorb the knowledge, the wisdom that you've gained over the past couple of months of experience. I have a Sakuda, definitely not spelling that right. Tortoise. Oh, let me tell you, that girl can make some moves when she wants to. Yeah, tortoises are fast too, but those red-eared sliders, man, they're quick. I went on a bike ride around the block. I was in 6th grade, and I was cleaning her tank outside where I had to. Like, I wasn't allowed to clean her stuff on the inside the house. So I put her in the tree box. It was a box of wood around a tree in the yard, and um, I don't know how she tunneled her way out so quickly, but I don't know if there was a tunnel already there made by a gopher or something, but that girl booked it, never found her again. Turns out the junior high school across the cornfield from my house, like directly, birds, whatever you call it. Yeah. the science teacher found a red-eared slider in the cornfield dead and then preserved her in a jar. So my turtle is probably still at that junior high school, who knows, or maybe with that teacher wherever he went. But yeah, that was awful. But solitude, being present. Don't become, you know, the little escape artist that goes off and doesn't pay attention to your surroundings and ends up getting caught up by a plow or something. Okay. I know it's a little graphic, but yeah, maybe relatable. Anywho, um, overcoming Seven of Swords energy. This again, same energy showing up today. This could be people that are that have bad intentions for you, like the cards yesterday. This could be people like throwing you under the bus or using you as a scapegoat type of energy. Hey Mala, thank you for popping in. Good night. Need to pay more attention to my surroundings. Yes. It's always a good thing to be mindful of your surroundings wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you know, because I know with my brain, I have to make myself like slow down and absorb because I'll just zip through things and just the way my brain works. But I have to consciously make myself stop for a minute and really absorb things. So we have greed also here. Okay, this is why I'm talking about this. Someone could be, you know, doing underhanded things behind your back, or it's just that energy like you're done dealing with people who don't have your best intention or your best the best of intentions for you. Yeah, today my brain words, bear with me guys. Do you see the loading symbol in my face? um Overcoming. I heard obsessive. So you could be overcoming obsession yourself, or you could be um, like escaping some sort of obsessive relationship, codependent type relationships, whatever. Um, you could be getting rid of someone who's been obsessing over you, like blocking them, getting, you know, removing them from your life. Um, if that's you being called to do that, do it. Okay. Indecision is showing up. Confusion, decide what you want and act on it. Okay. That kind of thing, if you're in that situation, that kind of thing could have some serious consequences if you don't act. Okay. Knight of Swords, you need to act. Okay. And if you're not in that situation and you're just kind of um at a standstill, you need to make a decision because the energy, like we talked about. Hi Christy. Hi Wendy. The energy that like we've talked about recently is about to really shift and move forward, you know, with that Wheel of Fortune and the Eight of Wands showing up. If I could pick the dang things up. With those showing up together, they're like, it's happening. Okay, the energy is picking up, and if you want that dart to go toward your intended target, you better choose which target. Okay, you got 2 targets to choose from or 8 targets to choose from. I don't know how many decisions you got to make. I don't know your life, but you need to pick a trajectory and go with the momentum. We have career pay raise, new position or opportunity, leveling up. But if you're not placing your energy in a certain trajectory, how's how's anything supposed to manifest? So you need to start focusing on what you want. The energy is picking up, so it's going with or without you. Hi Kim. Um, we have offer here: date, engagement, wedding. It doesn't have to be a romantic offer. Could just be like job offers or opportunities showing up for you. Um, Meeting new people, friends, whatever the case is, something coming to fruition, something um, being offered to you, or some kind of an opportunity coming in, because shifts, you've shifted, but you need to, again, stop being indecisive and focus on what it is that you want. Okay. Decide on what you want. That's when the shifts start to tangibly take place. Okay. Um, so, and you could be wishy-washy in the way that you want something and you're focusing on the thing you want, but you're focusing in lack, or you're like, oh, I really hope this happens, but I don't think it's going to. That kind of energy, that's not trust. That's not knowing that it's done. Okay. That's not the master manifester that you are. Okay. That's more on the side of knowing that it's not done, that it's not going to happen. And that's where these things can backfire or manifest things, outcomes that you really didn't want, or completely bring things to a halt with the Ace of Wands showing up in the reverse. Okay. Arachnofaria showing up on the bottom of the deck. I love these cards. Thank you again, Sonia. Sonia bought me these cards for my birthday a couple months ago, a few months ago. Dang, it's been 4 months already. See how time flies? I feel like it was just my birthday. Like I just got this deck. But the Arachnofaria card talks about how beautiful she is and how it looks like, oh, this is such a pleasant, like really positive card. But she's wearing the spider necklace and she's got her little spider friends crawling around, and some spiders can be venomous, right? So this card talks about being careful, being mindful, cautious, whatever. But it talks about there could be some like contract or a decision that you're coming up to, right? With that indecisive energy, being more mindful of all of the aspects at play. Don't just like jump on something because it really looks good. It's all shiny and glittery. Okay. Not all that glitters is gold, right? It could be a turd dipped in fucking glitter, and you don't want that shit. Trust me. So this card just talks about when you do make that decision, you need to be mindful of all of the possible hidden aspects. Okay. So really take a pause. That Ace of Wands in the reverse, pause. Okay. It doesn't have to be forever. Just take a pause and consider perhaps even the repercussions or possible effects, ripple effects that could take place because of that decision. Okay. The wellspring. What are you thirsty for? Body care and take a breath. Wellspring, you need to take that pause, that solitude. All right. Really fill up your own cup. Take a salt bath, cleanse your energy, set the intention to cleanse any energies that are stagnant, that don't belong, that you want to release, whatever it is, and cleanse that. Okay. You don't have to take a bath if you don't want to. Take whatever resonates for you. But what are you thirsty for? What are you we talked about lack, and thirsty in that way is not a good not a good thing. So if you are feeling that thirstiness, that lack energy, you really need to again go within. That solitude card did show up. So you need to take care of you. You need to fill yourself up, because no one and nothing else is going to fill you up. So sit, take a breath, take a break, take a breather from interacting with humans for a couple of days even. But if you have been doing that and you've been hermiting a little too much, maybe go and I heard correspond. I don't know, you internet friends even, but go interact with people that you know are supportive, that are loving, that are understanding. That you don't even have to tell them what you're dealing with. Okay. You can just go and spend time with them. Something that fills you up. So, and that's not I'm not talking about latching onto someone to leech their energy. Okay. Totally different story. So check the codependency there. But definitely, you know, create positive interactions with others. My 20-year-old daughter learned a valuable lesson about slowing down and paying attention to your surroundings. She was in an accident this morning. She's fine, thank the universe, but it was her fault. She was rushing and not paying attention. Her car is totaled though. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad that she's okay. That's terrible, but definitely a lesson in paying attention to your surroundings, being mindful, being cautious. Oh my gosh, Corey, I'm so sorry about that. That's stressful no matter what, you know. Yes, thank goodness that your baby's okay, but that's still stressful for everyone involved to deal with. So sending you so much love right now. But I'm again so glad that she's okay. So taking time out, taking a break, taking a breather, doing that solitude, okay, to really get back to yourself, get back into your own energy. Um, you're undergoing metamorphosis. Embrace transformation. Things are now different. They're already different because you're different. So embrace that and start creating from that frequency. Okay. You're not creating from the old you or the old experiences. You've done so much healing. You've done so much learning about the law of attraction and how to manifest and how to create your own reality. So take time, embrace your transformation. Things are different already. Even if you're not seeing the physical transformation taking shape yet, it's not tangibilizing just yet. That's okay. It's energetically already created. If you can conceptualize it, it is already done. So just have patience, divine timing. Okay. They showed me the divine timing card from a deck that I didn't use today. So divine timing. Okay. That's what it's about. Await the night. I'm going to have to, I marked this page because I forgot what it means already. I did read it. Just to try to save a little bit of time so I didn't have to read the book, because this deck, I'm still getting familiar with it. But let's see what that card has to say. Aha. A vampire sits upon her coffin. Refreshed from her slumber, she is awake and ready. Bats surround her as moonlight begins to pour in the castle. While vampires cannot exist in sunlight, they are known to wake and hunt under the light of the full moon. The night, therefore, is a symbol of freedom for them, since the vampire cannot live amongst the rays of daylight and are confined to their coffins until sundown. True freedom is living a life that allows for choice without constraints. We might think of freedom as being physical, like the vampire in her coffin during daylight hours. But freedom of light and expression, especially in our authentic selves, is a privilege not everyone has the luxury of. If you've drawn this card, it can represent both the nature of being controlled and the act of releasing yourself from restriction. Now might be the time to fight for your own freedom, whether that means doing what you wish to, saying what is on your mind, or cutting ties with those who wish to hush you or keep you under their control. This card asks that you consider how free you really are within a given situation or relationship. What might you need to do or say to experience true freedom and live an authentic life? So, freedom from ourselves too, from our own thought patterns, from our own perceived shortcomings, for, you know, guilt, grief over mistakes or bad decisions or anything like that that we judge as something that we shouldn't have done, something that we shouldn't have experienced. Releasing yourself from those kinds of energies has been, you know, a thing lately for a lot of people. So if that resonates for you, definitely do that. You could be breaking away from restrictive relationships, or a job could be restrictive for you. Maybe you're wanting to start your own business and you've already started building up a clientele and now you're going to run with it and completely quit your job. Don't do it because I said so, because I'm not telling you to do that. Make sure that you are aligned. You know, I'm a Capricorn Cap Stellium here, so make sure that you are taken care of in order to be able to do that. Okay. um, don't end up in the gutter blaming me, because I didn't tell you that. A Capricorn will never tell you to do anything like that. Any kind of Capricorn. Okay. So just make sure that you have all your ducks in a row if you are making that kind of a transition, but that is also a metamorphosis. So, and they're talking a lot about metamorphosis in the way of embracing the true self and hold on, releasing who you were programmed to be and embracing the true self. There we go. I didn't think I was going to get that out right. So that could very well be quitting your regular 9 to 5 and embracing like a spiritual career or something. Shush, Steph. What's up, man? Glad you could join us. So coming out of your restriction in whatever way that means for you. The sirens are showing up with use your voice, expansion, and freedom. Maybe you need to advocate for yourself. We've talked about this. You could be called to advocate for another person as well. Hey, Shauna. So if you're feeling called to advocate for another person or situation or cause, whatever, this is confirmation. Definitely do that. It's part of your expansion. My kids are having a blast. Can you hear them? I'm sure you can because I still keep forgetting to order another mic. I'm going to do that. And let me write it on a Post-it right now so I won't forget because I always do. Okay. I can't find my other one, my spare. Okay, there. All right, so I will remember to get another mic, guys, I promise. Oh yeah, stimulus response and mental reprogramming are here. They're bringing my attention to that. So things could be happening to trigger you, to trigger an emotional response, whether it's someone actually like attacking or triggering you in some way like that, or you're just responding to situations that are manifesting around you and you're like, why do these things keep manifesting? Have I done something wrong? Am I like, I'm low vibrational? I must be because I thought I was healing. I thought I dealt with all this. I thought I was manifesting better. You're happy kids. Good. They're probably still in there shooting each other with their Nerf guns. But hey, whatever works for them, right? So as these things are happening, do not give away your power. Do not allow those old subconscious programs to run the show. Okay. Don't allow yourself to get sucked back down into that shame spiral or that guilt spiral or that lack spiral or anything like that. Because this is your chance. This is your opportunity. Okay. Your offer from the universe, baby, to reprogram. Okay. To recalibrate. 5D thoughts, instant manifestation, and limitless beliefs. So this is your opportunity to embody the master manifester that you have been trying to embody. You've been trying to attain this knowing how to manifest everything, right? So haven't we all? But you're doing it. You just have to shift some programming, dump some, okay, put that shit in the recycle bin, but reprogramming is going to bring about these shifts, these offers, these amazing gifts, whatever it is for you. We've talked about all of this lately. Owl Messenger is showing up. If I can pick a card up, we have the Owl Messenger. I love this card. I've been seeing owls so much for like months now. Oh, well, hi. Did you come to say hi or are you going to read for everybody? You're going to read? You're going to tell them to read your butthole? That's gross. Owl Messenger. Anyway, I've actually had a lot of crow messengers lately. It was in patterns of 2, right? A couple weeks ago, I told you guys about this, but starting today, I've seen them patterns of 1. So confirmation from my spirit team on a bunch of stuff, messengers, and funny thing, can you not put your butt in my face, please? I don't like it. Anyway, I get to town today, right? I told you guys I went to town today to get my stuff, do my stuff. And right whenever I got to town, I got behind this truck and I look up, and that was Lyra. She's a brat. The license plate said DVN. I'm sharing the license plate. Whatever. And then Q44, and it was a Rebel 4x4. And then I kept seeing 44 everywhere. Sweet baby cat butt. Yeah. I don't like cat butt in my face. Totally grosses me out. Yes. Oh, my car. No, not quite yet. Andy actually came down with a tummy bug, so he's been down for a couple of days, but very soon, I'm sure. But DVN, divine, right? Q44. So you have a barn owl spirit animal assisting you. I love that, Patrick. That's so awesome. There it is, your confirmation. You could be receiving signs. Owls could be significant for you right now. They symbolize wisdom, seeing in the shadows, right? Seeing in the dark, because they're nocturnal. Comments aren't working on your phone today. What the hell, Steph? Back out, or like close the app down and then come back and see if that works. The license plate said fresh and it had dice in the mirror. And that's what just happened to your brain. That happens to me all the time. I totally get it. You don't let your cat do that to you either. I can't stand it, and she always does it because her favorite part to be petted on is her butt. So she likes me to rub the top of her butt and scratch the top of her butt. So she'll just put her butt in my face. It's so rude. I tell her she's rude all the time, and she doesn't care. I told Loki that, and he huffed at me and rolled his eyes. It was ridiculous. It happened yesterday. I swear my cat's a narcissist. Okay, I'm going to get lost in conversation in the comments and not finish this reading. So, signs, symbols, things of that nature, maybe spirit animals, things like that, communicating with you. They are bringing you knowledge of your current frequency, but also visions of your future trajectory. We have the Two of Swords showing up right next to that. So this is that indecision card again, and indecision is blinding. Okay, that's what this means here. Like, your owl is right fucking here. It was flying right towards you. Okay, but you're too busy with that blindfold holding them swords like, I don't know which way to go. I'm stuck. No, you're not. You're not even tied up in this card. You're a cheetah, man. Get up and run. Okay, get up and do something. But act, make a decision, but be mindful of the decisions that you're making, right? Weigh all the options and the possible trajectories and repercussions, if any. Be mindful of your decision. Make a good decision. They're like, this is our opportunity for a status upgrade. Okay, money, career, achieving the accolades, whatever it is, you're upgrading in life. So you can't just respond with old programming, with old thought patterns, and expect a new kind of solution to magically appear. You get what you focus on, right? That's how manifestation works. That's how this plane works. Whatever you focus on, it grows. So if you're not focused on the right things, or you're not focusing on, putting your energy and momentum into, I don't want to say one singular thing, because sometimes we do put our energy into multiple things simultaneously. So, but you get what I mean. Just in a trajectory and focus on that instead of focusing on anything and everything that could go wrong, or anything and everything that's showing a sign that it could possibly go wrong right now, because you're going to manifest something going wrong, and you're not manifesting from the old you that used to do that, because you used to focus on everything that went wrong. Now you need to focus on what's going right, or what you can change so that it will go right. Because we're coming out of retrogrades. We've had the time to reassess and see what's not working. Now it's time to put that action forward, right? So make a decision, set your trajectory, and get moving. I heard get fucking going. You guys are still singing Fresh Prince, man. I would join you, but I'll get too distracted. The pink dolphin, celebration, fun, unbridled joy, and open heart. And that's right there next to status upgrade. You got a pink dolphin, man. That's rare. How many pink dolphins have you seen in person? I haven't seen any. I've seen dolphins in person. I miss the beach, man. It's calling me. The ocean is calling me. It's been 5 years. Yeah, about 5 years, 5 or 6. Get fucking going. Shauna, you're doing beautifully. You are getting going, but there could be something else that, that applies to you too. But things are moving forward. If they seem like they haven't really gotten off the ground or haven't really been moving, or they've been stagnant or stuck, whatever, things are about to get moving. But 10 of Swords, shit has to die. Okay. Has to be let go of. But this is a 10. 10 broken down. 1 plus 0 is 1. New beginnings. Okay. So you have to let the old energy die before the new beginning can start to come to fruition, start to tangibilize. But we have the Ace of Wands in the upright. Was that yesterday or no? Did I not talk about Ace of Wands being in the reverse? And how's it in the... That had to have been yesterday. You guys, I don't know. Twilight Zone. Ace of Wands, okay? Things moving forward in a big way. That status upgrade, that leveling up, that 9 of Pentacles, pre-Empress energy. That's divine feminine energy. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. Okay, we all have masculine and feminine energies within us. So this is being open, being in that divine feminine, open to receive, open to receiving that abundance from the seeds that you planted. Okay, that harvest is coming, baby. It might be slow. Look, there's a snail. Pentacles are slow as hell. But she's walking leisurely, not worried, not in lack, not in, anxious energy. She's just chilling. She's just strolling with her falcon, being this big ass bear with a tiny little body in her red high heels. She's graceful. Okay. You can overcome anything with grace and ease if you reprogram that shit. Okay. Don't allow things to provoke you, to stimulate some kind of a knee-jerk response. Be mindful. Okay. Because if you don't, it's not going to end well for you. Okay. And if somebody has been trying to come against you, trying to tarnish you in whatever way, you've been holding boundaries, they're going to fall. They're going to be seen for what they are. And you've been handling it gracefully. So keep going. Okay, you got this. And if you're worried about other people's judgments or other people not favoring you for whatever reason, you have no reason to fear. You have no reason to worry, just as long as you're walking in that 9 of Pentacles energy. You are abundant. You are worthy. You are graceful and skilled in what you do. So why do you have anything to fear? Okay. Boundaries with yourself. Mental boundaries. 9 of Wands. Don't let your ass get out of line. The Moon. Clarity, things surfacing. Maybe you need to get out and howl at the moon. Maybe you need to get out and do some primal screaming or something to release stuck and stagnant energies. Get out and do it. I'll howl with you. We'll howl on a video chat, all right? You just let me know. Give me the time in your time zone and we'll howl at the moon together. Shit, we'll all go live on a Zoom meeting or something and just howl at the moon together. I don't care, but this signifies those endings. 10 keeps coming up in today's reading. So endings, but new beginnings. So You can express your grief or your gratitude or whatever you need to express for whatever's leaving your life right now, even if it's you know, the old thought patterns. Maybe you want to do a ritual and, you know, use that energy to, you know, put these things to bed so that you can really, in a consciously aware state, start over new, start this new cycle. You're down. Why was I thinking about you whenever I was saying that, Matt? I have a cat hair. Okay, sorry. That's just one of the things. Queen of Wands, you are sexy. You are on fire. Okay, that solar plexus be popping, and that sacral chakra. All right, you're confident. You're bold. You're creative. You're passionate. You're purposeful. You're divinely feminine, even if you're a man's. Okay. You're open to receive. You are wise. You are a nurturer. You nurture and grow what is going to be reciprocal for you. So stand in that energy, claim that energy, and embody that energy, because whatever you embody, whatever you become, is what you manifest. So embody exactly what you want to become, and it must manifest. Love you. Love that card. Which one? The Queen of Wands? She's gorgeous, ain't she? I love her. Oh, and a black cat. Good luck. That's good luck, baby. All right, we're talking about religious trauma today. Who here's been impacted by religious trauma? Raise your hand. There's going to be so many comments. Oh, my queen. Yes. She's gorgeous. I love these cards, man. I wanted them for a really long time. Thank you, former podcast co-host, for that beautiful deck, because I love it. And yeah, I kept it because it came from a shipping facility and never made contact. So yeah. Usually, like, anyone that I part with on, you know, not amicable terms, I will get rid of anything that they gifted me, anything that they made for me. So any kind of handcrafted items or anything like that have been removed from my house. But things that came from like shipping facilities, nah. I don't have their energy. So I'm good. I'm just giving you guys that as an example of something that I do. Just like everyone has relationships, friendships, any kind of relationships that part ways, and some of them aren't so nice. So if you keep something with someone's energy, they can have an energetic tie. French, Roman Catholic, nothing negative at all. Not at all. Not at all, Steph. Okay, so we got some hands. Let me scroll up. Whoop, I guess I missed some comments. Sorry, guys. Thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the reading. All right, so quite a few of you, religious trauma. Yeah. So we've got Ariana, Angela. Whoa. Steph, of course. Luckily, been religious trauma free, but I know plenty of people who aren't. Yeah, I was raised in first, you know, the first earlier part of my childhood, Pentecostal, and then it was Baptist, and then it was Nazarene. But the Nazarene was very much like the Baptist, except for, like, I guess more vanilla. It's the way you can put that. There wasn't necessarily a big difference, but my grandparents like ran the praise and worship part, so that was probably all I ever really paid attention to was the music. I just love music. I come from a musical background, my family, so we were raised Catholic, but taught about aliens and reincarnation. That is awesome. That's open-minded. So, disclaimer, it's not about the religions in general, because I have tons of friends and chosen family members that identify as, one religion or another. But they're not like the embodiment of that religion. They're not so much invested in the indoctrination. So there are open-minded people that identify with these things just because that's kind of what they were raised to do, and that's just kind of what they go along with. That's what resonates for them or whatever. Baptist for you too. Sending a golden wave. Oh, love you, Matt. Not much here, just teased by classmates because you weren't religious. Jokes on them for sure. Oh my gosh. Best part of my main guide is one of his apostles. Took a while to accept that. I had to work to be open to that. Yeah. Yeah. That would definitely, I would feel the same stuff. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's an experience that some people choose to have. Some souls want to experience religion and maybe not awaken in this life. Exactly. Every soul has its purpose, its plan, what it is wanting to experience. And you don't come in here, because we have the veil of forgetfulness, you don't come in knowing all of the things that you know inherently, that's all within you. You come through that veil, and it's for a reason. And a lot of souls will choose to incarnate here for that reason, just so that they can have the experience without the access to the knowing part, the all truth, all knowing part of them, because they want to have that unbiased experience, with that kind of energy. So that's why I don't like to, I do talk trash about Christianity and stuff, but that's because I have my own little chip on my shoulder about it. Not so much anymore, but I kind of make it a joke now, because it is a joke to me. The way I just, that's my personal perspective, my personal feelings on it. But I do also respect people who are Christians or Catholic or, whatever religion that they claim. I respect their beliefs and I respect them for believing that. And I won't ever try to impose my beliefs or my perspectives or anything on those people. If they're open to hearing it, sure, we'll have conversations and I'll share my perspective if they're open to hearing it. But I'm not going to tell them you're wrong or, this and that. That's not my place. Absolutely not my place. Because I don't know your soul's plan or what you chose to experience here. I do know you chose that to experience. So I'm gonna respect that, and I'm not gonna try to change you. But a lot of people, for so long it's been programmed into us so that people are at war with each other, to hate others based on their religious or spiritual beliefs and practices. So you were raised Jehovah's Witness, but I didn't know that, Kara. Did I know that? Was I shocked the first time I heard? No way, man. They sure don't respect my, yeah. And yeah, that's something that you also have to try to come to terms with from, if you have this kind of perspective, like I'm not going to infringe on your spiritual beliefs and practices, but you're going to try to shove God down my throat the whole time. Yeah, that's something that you have to, and it's a case by case basis. Sometimes I'll straight up tell them like, screw your new God, because I am God. I know God on a very intimate level, and trust me, yours ain't it. Sometimes that reaction has been gotten out of me, but it takes someone that's being like very, like authoritarian dictator comes to mind. I know those aren't the words that I'm grasping for, but you get what I'm saying. So yeah, no, that's something. And then other times I'm just like, okay, honey, you have the day you deserve. Okay. Or I respect your beliefs. Okay, yes. Yep. Uh-huh. Okay. God bless you, honey. But and I'll talk to people like with my aunt, and I'm never gonna try to, she's open to things, she's gifted herself. But she still very much adheres to the Christianity because that's what we were brought up to believe in. So she very much does adhere to that belief system still, but she's open. She has mediumship abilities and things like that. So we talk openly about these things. Um, but she's still, I whenever I talk to her about healing herself, about bringing healing energy in, and all of these things, breath work and stuff, I'll tell her, bring the light of God into your body, and I'll explain it in ways that she can understand from her Christianity frame of mind. So I understand people and work with their beliefs instead of trying to throw them up in their face like, hey, this is wrong. Like, this is why, and this is why, and this is why your religion's wrong. You suck as a person, and blah blah blah. That's not true. They're here to have those experiences. So yeah, depending if they're combative and rude and just tyrannical about it, then I will, they'll get the version of me they don't want, like the not, yeah, are they, yeah, the Jehovah's Witness people that have come to my house a couple of times, and I told them not to come back on my property. But before that, my daughter had told them twice, and they just kept coming back. And whenever I became aware of that, they got the not so nice version of me. So, and then I got some signs for my front door that like nail onto the house, and it says something like, no solicitors, violators will be sacrificed to the old gods, not the new. So I made a statement, and I haven't had one show back up yet, but I'm waiting to see. I am God. Hurry up with my damn message. Kanye West. Did he say that? Hold on, let me see. I missed that comment. Oh, I have some family and friends that are, they're wonderful people, but I feel really brainwashed. It all feels cold. Yeah. Like, yeah. The Jehovah Witness, like the ones that practice and adhere to the teachings and things like that, they do give me the same energetic signature as Mormons. And I'm talking about LDS Mormons. And then like the lighter version, like the extra virgin Mormons, I guess. um, the mainstream ones that aren't so indoctrinated to that degree, those ones have a much lighter but similar energy signature to the LDS. But yeah, I would say the Jehovah's Witness people do give me the same energetic signature as LDS. They're praying for you in droves. You know how many people pray for me? My family's probably performing exorcisms at a distance. They probably show up and see a sign and run away while praying. Probably. They leave me alone. They don't interrupt my work, so I'm good. But yeah, thanks for the prayers, guys. That's just good energy. You're just sending me more good energy. It works. But there are so many different ways that people have experienced religious trauma. And I watch a lot of documentaries, and a lot of them on, different religions. A lot of them, though, about like the LDS and other kinds of sects that like branched off of them, because there are a few and they are very much culty. Like there's a widely known one in Utah, in the Salt Lake City area, that they do not like have children with outsiders, and everyone in this cult is related to the same, it's like the same man that started the cult they can all trace their bloodline back to him. So gross. But there are many different ways that religious trauma is experienced, and it can be something as simple as being judged by your family for perhaps being LGBTQIA plus. I was waiting for the label to come to download into my mind. If you get baptized and then denounce the church, they never allowed to talk to you again. Yeah. Deconstruct their programming. That's awesome stuff. I was actually on a video chat, I think, with Steph one day whenever they stopped by, and I basically told them to fuck off and that religion was bullshit, because I was on the phone. I was busy. Like we were talking about like work stuff, you know. I don't remember what, I think it was about one of your kids' readings or something, but yeah. So I'm like, I am busy. I work from home. And here you are trying to cram your religion down my throat. Like, no, go away. Love you, Ben. Good night. But some people will experience it in that way. Others will experience like, those taboo things like molestation and rape and things like that within the church hierarchies and stuff, because just as sheep will flock to these places that are, all these nice people with these good intentions, and they have, this common idea or goal that's supposed to be morally high ground, predators will flock to those places just the same. Okay, just the same. Why do you think? Because the sheep are there. Okay, because, and I'm not saying that everyone in religion is a sheep and they're all following this, though, some argue that that's not the case, but I'm not saying that. There are a lot of open-minded people, and I wouldn't call them all sheep. But in the sense that very, docile, very loving, very kind, that kind of energy. So whenever there's a gathering of people like that, trusting, open-hearted people like that, of course there's going to be predators, just like in the spiritual communities. They come in with these ascension traps, like the whole twin flame paradigm. Okay. With the whole, like, there's demons on every corner and they're going to attach to you, and there's dead people just waiting to, get sucked up into your auric field, and you're going to get them anytime. And you need to make sure you're constantly delousing yourself from these parasites. Absolutely not. Okay. But we know that there are people out there that do that prey on people, that, instill fear in them so that they can prey on them in these more awakened communities. So they're everywhere. That's why you have to use your discernment. Be mindful of your circumstances, of your surroundings, of those that you interact with. Your friend family used to pray for you, and you'd start laughing. they were did they try to exercise you? My mother did that to me several times, and I actually was laughing once because I didn't know why she was doing it. Like, she would just, probably something she was reading in the Bible, she was doing some intense Bible study or something. I would come home being, a kid, and then like she'd grab onto me and start putting her hand on my forehead and trying to exorcise demons out, and I would like, are you serious right now? And then it would get worse. But I experienced that. As far as religious trauma, the judgment, I experienced that. I didn't experience trauma at the hands of a predator in my church. They were actually found out eventually, but like, I couldn't stand going around them. I told my grandparents, he's weird, he's creepy. His stepdaughters are like really weird whenever he comes around. Like, something's going on that's not right with that man. And, oh, don't you say things like that about brother, what's his name, and blah, 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 blah. And then I was in high school, and I had separated from the family for a few years at that point and not really gone around them. So I didn't have to go to church with them and stuff like that for like 2 or 3 years at that point. And then they found out that he actually was a registered sex offender. And convicted pedophile and was trying to get into like um, the youth group services, like for music because he played music. And my grandparents like brought him in like family because he was a musician, and you know that, yeah. So they're the predators will go exactly right where they know that there's a bunch of people that are trusting and open and that wouldn't look at you in that way because you claim to be something that you're not. And they glorify you for what they think you are. And then you've got them all fooled. So that is definitely something that's rampant in all kinds of different religions. It's not just Catholicism with all the priests and stuff. You know, it's every single kind of church that I've ever come across in my experience, there has been severe, you know, predatory behavior within the congregation. Um, oh, practices, beliefs, like them saying that the rapture, okay, the whole rapture thing, that's why you always got to be discerning. Exactly, Anna. The whole rapture thing, that traumatized me for a very long time. And almost everyone that I've spoken to, I've seen documentaries on TV. I was watching, it wasn't even religious related, okay? It was a documentary on that huge tornado that hit Joplin, Missouri. And there was a kid in there. He was like a senior in high school or just graduated or something. But at that point, he was closet homosexual. But he was involved in the church and things like that. And, you know, was, I think, actually played music for the band at church or something like that. Anyway, whenever the tornado hit, he was at work at the yogurt shop he worked at, frozen yogurt, ice cream for you guys that don't know. That's what people in the US call it, frozen yogurt shop. But it's not yogurt at all. Anyway, he was working there and he got all these people, like he made them stay in the shop and like take cover. And he, after the tornado had passed, they all went outside and saw all the devastation because it devastated like the entire town of Joplin and just leveled everything. It looked like a battle zone. And he said he walked outside and he started crying because he thought that the rapture had happened and he didn't go. Sorry guys, trying not to cry. I think the rapture is souls that don't graduate to 5D. Yeah. But how awful for someone to think that they're going to hell, even though they were active in their church and had a good heart and did great things for people, saved people. And they thought that they didn't get taken to heaven because they were gay, something that they couldn't change about themselves. That pisses me off. But there are so many different ways that people experience traumas related to religious beliefs and practices. And a lot of us, probably most of us, because I know there are a few that didn't experience anything like that because you had open-minded families or probably families, parents that started to rebel against that thing from early on because we've had, you know, the first wave of volunteers was like a while ago. I would say they were starting to trickle in around the 40s and 50s. But as adults, I would venture as far as to say 20s and 30s is when they started being born and, you know, started trickling in. But yeah, a lot of us have experienced that kind of thing, and many of us come from backgrounds of different kinds of um, Christianity. It's kind of like a blanket title, and then we have our other like Catholicism and Baptist, Pentecost, you know, all of the things. But there there are so many good things that can happen within church. We know that. I've talked about that. There are healers there, and they you know, they do actually do energy healing. Um, so there are very good things and amazing. They help each other out and help other people out and things like that. But there are so many shadows that come along with the whole thing, because it's more trying to fit people into a box, trying to herd them like cattle into this one pin where they can control, they can manipulate, because they do manipulate people based on their religious beliefs. Your dad was first wave. He was born in 38. Wow. Dang. My mother was born in the 60s. My mother was a young mother, though. I would say my mother's indigo. I would say that she's a volunteer, but she has a very rebellious black sheep type energy about her, but also did not didn't come in with the energy of really doing anything positive, building things, I guess, other than having children and what her children do. Um, she's more so the destructive type, which it does take those that are here to destroy paradigms, destroy or embody the energies of the systems that need to come down. So they are volunteers and they all serve a purpose. And I would say that, yes, my mother is also a volunteer, but in a completely different way than anyone would expect. Because there are volunteers that come here and they're here to embody some pretty terrible things, but that's to awaken people to get their attention. So even though they might be playing a villain here, it doesn't always necessarily mean that that they should get better, or that they should be judged for being what they are, because everything serves a purpose. So just if you come in with destructive energy, you're doesn't matter what it is, you're going to be destructive. So yes, it can play to a super positive outcome immediately, you know, visceral, what, tangible that you're viscerally aware of, or it could be part of the bigger picture that you that kind of sneaks past, that like we talked about in the reading, that you're kind of glossing over, you're not seeing it because you didn't take the time to pause. All challenges bring us growth. Exactly. And you know, I probably needed someone to tear me down so that I could build myself back up, so that I could be an example and know exactly how I want to build my generation, my future generation with my children. And you know, that's going to impact all future generations from my bloodline, just from me. So it did take a lot of that destructive energy in order for me to be able to rebuild. So those those people and those situations all happen for a greater purpose, but sometimes we don't see that purpose even within the lifetime. Sometimes it's years later, sometimes not at all. So everything has a reason, and all of these religious traumas and things that people have experienced and are continuing to realize and come out about, and you know, advocate, speak up about, it's all happening so that we can have the clarity. Because once it becomes such a big problem that you can no longer ignore it, there's nothing to do but change. So that's what we're at. We're kind of like the pimple coming to a head. It's so gross, but it's kind of true. And like those pimple popping videos and stuff, or people like touching their pimples, it grosses me out so bad, that I'm like so squeamish with that. So, and I'll probably get ads on my phone now because my my best friend, girl best friend that lives in California still, is one of those people that likes that stuff and watches those shows. There's a show about it, and it totally gives me the EBGBs, makes my skin crawl, makes me want to vomit. And whenever I talk to her, those ads start coming back up. So I have to remove them. So yeah, I'm probably going to have some YouTube suggestions and some ads now, thanks to myself. So, but overcoming religious traumas takes a lot of shadow work. Okay, you're going to have to be able to sit with those things, be able to feel all of those emotions, the suppressed emotions, what you couldn't feel or what you couldn't express. And it does take a lot of time to overcome those kinds of things. There's still stuff that surfaces for me from time to time that I have to deal with. Um, and it's all related to the indoctrination and the programming and the trauma that I experienced. I was exorcised, I don't know how many times. Don't know if any demons ever came out because it was scary most of the time. I would see people writhing on the floor. Like, I'm like, what are they doing? What is happening to them? If this is a good thing, then why does it look like that? And religions are like zits. Yes, I guess, yes. I guess that's what I was getting at, huh? And we're the pus. Oh, Steph, quit keeping it going. uh, you're probably laughing your ass up right now, too. Um, so we have to overcome these things. We have to heal that within ourselves. And it's not to say, like, so with some of these documentaries, they will escape a cult or some kind of religious group. And those things are really hard to escape. Like, they have to covertly do this shit. Okay. It's unsafe. But whenever they leave something like that, they have to first of all integrate into like the real world, or not, I wouldn't say the real world, right, but the world that they're escaping into. Okay, they have to acclimate to that. It's like you get a fish at the fish store or at the carnival or whatever, and you get them in a bag. I don't know if that happens anymore, hopefully not, but I'm drawing on old experience here. So you get it home and you have to put it like in the aquarium, but first you have to put the bag in the water and let it float around for a while so that the water in the bag gets acclimated to the temperature of the aquarium. And then once that's done, you can let them in and they won't experience such shock, right? Um, so it's not quite the same with people that leave religious belief systems, whether they have to escape from a cult or a group or not. They have to, like, they're just plunged into this world where there's so much conflicting information. It conflicts with their own beliefs, conflicts with, other stuff within that. And it can be, it is a culture shock. And, it's the same no matter if you're leaving one of those cults or thing, that thing, or just opening your mind and releasing all of the dogma that was placed upon you. So you're going to experience things like cognitive dissonance, where you you can't really come to terms with how you feel. It's like it kind of repulses you, but at the same time it makes sense, and your brain has a hard time really coming to terms with that. So there's a lot of that. There's a lot of, anger or frustration or sadness that will surface. And these are things that you need to process through. These are things that you really need to heal through. But before you can do that, you need to express them, right? Because emotions are energy in motion. And if you're suppressing those, you need to allow that energy to flow. So being able to do that, working with a therapist or something along those lines, or like a shadow work practitioner. Shauna is a shadow work practitioner, and she has one-on-one sessions that she does with her clients. So if you're interested in that, please reach out to her on Facebook, Shauna Gutierrez. Or what is your page called again, Shauna? Can someone tag that for me? You can, if you haven't already joined the Facebook group, you can reach out to her there. She did make a post about that today or yesterday, advertising her service. So, but any kind of support that you can get, mental health support, emotional health support, okay? Um, those are very important to be able to overcome these things. Other people that have overcome these kinds of things are really helpful. And a lot of people who have left strict belief systems like that often do go into some kind of aftercare or advocacy for others in those situations. Mother was born in 33 and she thought US married was forever, and I told her not for me. I'm learning with my siblings' mistakes. Yeah, that's smart. That is so smart, Sonia. Hey Raina, how are you, gorgeous? Um, so yeah, if you are leaving some kind of strict belief system like that, um, get therapy, get help, reach out to support services. There are places that you can go for support. You can reach out to anyone in our community here on Facebook. And those of you watching on YouTube, if you have Facebook, you can reach out. Rebel Spirit on Facebook, and the group is called Rebel Spirits Rising, spirits plural. um, but it takes a lot of time to overcome things like that, and you'll be living your day-to-day life, and then you'll have a trigger, just like any kind of shadow work, which I know I don't have to explain this to you guys. This is also more for other people that may tune in and find this in their feed somehow, that may be experiencing something like religious trauma. And it's really difficult, and people feel like they're all alone whenever they're breaking out of these kind of belief systems, but you're not alone. There are so many people that have experienced religious trauma to some degree, and there's more and more every day that are coming forward saying, hey, this happened to me. So talking about it can really help to open the conversation for others that may be experiencing or maybe grappling with religious beliefs and things that they're trying to let go of or don't make sense. And you know having someone else that has the experience that can just say, hey, this is what happened to me, this is what I experienced, and this is how I'm getting through it, or this is how I got through it. So yeah, I just really wanted to address that because it has been a topic that's come up a lot for like to my awareness lately with people that I work with, people that I speak to, and then like random stuff on TV like I told you guys about, because I watched that documentary last week and I was crying whenever I was watching that kid's story. I was just bawling because how dare someone make another person feel like that. Like, it upsets me. My own family always talk negatively about gay people or trans people or anything that's not heteronormative, right? So it's always gotten under my skin. And one of the last conversations that I had with my nana was about how she treats gay people and trans people, and how she'll behave just awfully to their face, like look them up and well, she doesn't have eyes anymore, but she used to like look them up and down and like give them dirty looks and don't touch me type of thing. And I was like, shame on you. How are you a good, wonderful person that's going to heaven when you treat other human beings that way, that are trying to be kind to you, that are just reaching out to shake your hand and say hi and introduce themselves? How can you? Do you think Jesus would have treated someone that way? What would Jesus do, Nana? In terms she can understand. Like, do you think Yeshua would have done that? Absolutely not. Whether he agreed with it or not, which I can tell you 100% he was okay with it. Okay, he was not a judgmental person like they've portrayed him to be. An all-loving God or an all-loving Messiah? What? Remember those bracelets they used to make and the bumper stickers, WWJD? My dad is better now, but back in the day, he was a racist. Dang, yeah. My family, like, they weren't they were racist, obviously, but they weren't like loud about it, you know? Um, but they still were like, they didn't even claim their Native American heritage because that was like, you were trash if you had any native blood. And they still, she said, oh, we're Black Dutch. Black Dutch? What? Black Dutch, huh? Okay. Um, you mean Cherokee, Choctaw, and Blackfoot, Nana? um, but yeah, so racist to the point where they're suppressing and shunning parts of themselves. Like, why can't you embrace that you are a person of color, even if your porcelain white skin doesn't reflect that? You have that, you know, she had an eighth, I think. By that point, by the time she was born, there was about an eighth. And then, yeah, we get it from both sides. So I got some more with my father's side of the family, but I also got some Scottish and Irish. A couple of friends who are churchgoers, and my friend was very nervous about spell jars, and I said I was God. It freaked her out. Linda, I love that. I love that so much. But, you know, sometimes people have to be jarred a little bit to kind of shake them of their rigid beliefs and maybe open up. Um, and, you know, you planted a seed. So you never know when it's going to sprout and take root. But yeah, anything magical like that is like demonic to Christians, but then they blow out birthday candles. they they set intentions and they do a ritual and you know, use flame and blow it out, expecting it to happen. Among other things, like the communion, that's a ritual, eating someone's body and drinking their blood, who was your savior. Weird. Wielding their murder weapon all around and claiming that you love them, so your love for them is showing, like just wearing their murder weapon all the time. It's that's a little jarring to me. Spell jars, putting some cinnamon and some honey and and a little heart-shaped stone and whatever else you want to put in your spell jars. That doesn't sound as scary to me as eating someone's flesh and blood, but you know, cannibals. In my experience, churchgoers are the most judgmental hypocrites who go ask for forgiveness once a week and just keep perpetually doing this all their lives. No growth. Exactly. Exactly. I was watching a documentary on Hillsong Church, and the leader was like, part of his sermon was saying um, that you just confess your sins and God blots them out. And he was a very big child predator. Um, his preference was little boys. Love you, Matt. Get some sleep. Definitely. Thanks for hanging out with us for so long. I know it's late for you guys. Still my friends, and they are supportive. My friend asked me to do Reiki, so progress. See, seeds planted. I love it. You're expanding people's perspectives just by being you, and I love that. But I love that that was jarring. You know, the rebel in me just loves that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm friends. Like I said, my best friend identifies as Christian. My other best friend doesn't. My other best friend identifies as Wiccan. But you know, I have lots of different kinds of people in my life of different beliefs, and I respect all of them, just as long as they don't you know, infringe on my sovereignty or my, you know, they're not cramming their beliefs down my throat and all that. Hey, you do you, you know, whatever way helps you connect with the divine, do it. Who am I to judge? Who am I to say who you should and shouldn't be connecting with? It ain't my business. Well, guys, I guess, yeah, we should bring that part up. Religion was in part created to, yes, control the masses, but also to keep people reincarnating on that reincarnation loop that Earth is famous for. Because if they believe at the time that they're supposed to cross over that they are a sinner in some capacity or they've done something wrong and they want to go make it right, they want to balance out that karma, right? Um, they're going to be like, send me down again. I want to go and I want to do something else this time. And then they create more karmic shit. And then they like feel that they need to balance that out and all of that. So, yes, that is part of why religion was created. Thank you guys for bringing that up in the comments, but I'm reading you guys' conversation. Oh, that's awful, Sue. I cannot stand people who harm animals. Wicked awesome. You are wicked awesome, Steph. I dig ya. But any other points that anyone wants to bring up? Any bright points that you want to bring up, Steph or Anna or anyone else? My voice is starting to get scratchy and wants to go out, and I've almost reached the bottom of my tea. So I'm gonna have to go soon. Oh, we're already an hour 26. Yeah, 26 minutes in. I couldn't tell if it was a 6 or 8, guys. The numbers are tiny. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes, see if you want to mention anything else before I let you guys get back to your evenings. And I got to get kids ready for school tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day of school for the week because they have all Fridays off. So tomorrow's everyone's Friday in this house. Love you, Steph. Good night. All right, we're all good. We addressed all the points that any of us can think of at this point, and I'm sure that if we didn't, it'll come up in a later episode. So I love you guys so much. Thanks for sticking around with me and having a beautiful conversation. It was really enjoyable. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll have the promo released tonight on what the topic is going to be for tomorrow's podcast. Tomorrow is my Friday again. So it's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, 1 a.m. British Summer Time for the 18th of April. But I love you, Anna. Thank you. I will see you guys tomorrow, and then I won't see you for a couple of days. So make it count. All right. I love you guys. Mwah. Take care. See you soon.